The energy for the third week of July speaks to action. I'm an intuitive coach, and this is my energy report for the 13th to the 19th of July. This week, we continue the analogy of the fruit lying on the forest floor after the spark of separation and missing the familiarity of the tree. But this week, she has to put that loss behind her and act so she can fulfill her purpose. This means emitting a fragrance that attracts the right prey. The thing about this fragrance is that it also indicates that soon she will begin to decay. Either way, she will fulfill her purpose, which is to allow the seed to be released. And the guides ask you to look at several different stories unfolding in your life to understand how this analogy fits with what's happening for you. So the first thing that the guides are talking about is analysis to action. So there is an area where you have done a lot of thinking, triggered by events that happened between the beginning of September last year and towards the end of December. So we're talking about 2023. During this time, there was a karmic pattern that repeated itself. Your experience at one end of the spectrum was doing things for others out of duty, obligation, and the concern that not doing so would look like a failure in the relationship. At the other end, you felt compelled to ask yourself what truly brings you joy and whether you are willing to prioritize your commitment to your happiness. This dynamic was brought in even more into your conscious awareness as an observation of imbalance in power around the 27th of February this year, 2024, resulting in a rectification of that power struggle between March 2024 to mid-June 2024. Now, this week is a call to action based on that more balanced dynamic. So look back to those stories and see how they now need to feed into an action that you need to take based on the more balanced dynamic. And look, action doesn't necessarily mean something in the external world. Action can simply be ensuring that you are learning something, or you are going to put a routine in place, or you are going to make certain choices for your life. So the guides are saying you've seen what doesn't work, you know what works, and you are part of this energy which is about leaders establishing trust-based systems on the planet. So ask yourself, what do you need to do to spread the fragrance of your ideas and your skills? So the second theme that we are looking at is there is going to be an explosion of self-expression. Something that may have built up over the last couple of weeks and just has to be expressed. The only warning here is to ensure that the person who receives this explosion is a friend, a well-wisher, someone who's willing to listen to you without any agenda or judgment. Also, prepare the friend in advance that your next words may be cathartic and request them to hold space for you to feel heard. The reason this is important is that this explosion of self-expression, whatever it may be, will allow deep vulnerability to be expressed. And in that vulnerability, you will find your truth. So you need to know that whoever you are speaking to will not take an approach where they're giving you a solution or trying to resolve your issue. They are only listening to you, providing that space. So, because you will be expressing this vulnerability, this truth in that expression, it makes this important, because without it, this truth cannot become known. And why is the truth important? Because the truth is the alchemical process that turns the shadow that you have been dealing with into the gift that you wish to bring as a contribution into the world. So definitely take time out for this. Think through what it is that has been building up inside you that you really need to share, and catch hold of that person, prime them, and then sit and communicate with them. Now, in case you cannot find a kind being to listen, then make sure to journal this week. This is another way of allowing your voice to be expressed, and perhaps a safer way. Now, what you cannot do is to allow this explosion to be at someone you have a power imbalance or conflict with, and especially not a male authority figure or someone steeped in patriarchy. Now, note this is for men and women, right? So, the masculine energy, a patriarchal way of looking at things is part of male composition as well as female composition in our society right now. And you could be a man or a woman who is listening to this or identifies any kind of gender who is listening to this episode. And you need to make sure that whoever you're speaking to, irrespective of their gender, they are not steeped in patriarchy. Now, the third theme that is going to emerge is the wounding around the father. So this week, there is an energy being brought up which will make you see wounding caused by a father or a father figure. This can go on to a grandfather or a great-grandfather if you have been exposed to those relationships in this lifetime. Here, this is not, this is very much specific to gender, so this is very much a father or a father figure. Now, in sessions, I often need to remind my clients that this is not a judgment of the father or father figure in question, because sometimes you dearly love that person, whether they are here or they've moved on. And in most cases, that masculine authority figure was doing their best, given how they knew and how their upbringing and their conditioning. So it's not about judging anybody. It's not about getting angry with someone. It's not about needing to forgive. It is just about acknowledging the fact that this younger version of you, who was also doing his, her, or their best, felt wounded. And all that we're doing is addressing or looking at or acknowledging that trauma. And a lot of people, when I speak to them, say, oh, we didn't have any trauma, we had a great childhood. Yes, as adults, we rationalize the wounds and we think we're healed because it doesn't hurt per se. But what we fail to understand is that trauma becomes a part of the belief system. Even if you don't believe in inner child work, many of you have grown up hearing parents say things like, money doesn't grow on trees, spare the rod, spoil the child. Children are meant to be seen, not heard. We have sacrificed so much and you're so ungrateful or selfish, all of which then becomes embedded as belief systems within you. Right? So how do these belief systems work? Now think of somebody who, believes that spare the rod, spoil the child. Or who believes that, let's say, money doesn't grow on trees. Or that, they are seen as selfish or ungrateful. Now, this adult will mistrust opportunities because those opportunities will resemble money growing on trees. Even though others around them may have a much easier time receiving that wealth with a lot of ease. Or they will punish themselves, hold back on expressing themselves if they've been told things like, spare the rod, spoil the child, or children are just meant to be seen and not heard. Or they'll have a difficulty setting boundaries if they've been told that they are selfish and ungrateful. And the list goes on how these inputs as children impact us even when we are adults, even when we do not see it as trauma. Okay? So this week offers an opportunity to reparent yourself by acknowledging this wound without any judgment, even for yourself, and allowing yourself to heal. A lot of people feel shame in thinking that, their parent has caused them harm, because that parent may otherwise have been very loving and very supportive. But the thing is that, as that little child, this is a setup. Neither Neither the parent has done anything wrong, nor is there anything wrong in you acknowledging that your setup created certain belief systems that don't work for you anymore. After all, the energy is changing, the world is changing, and we need to change our belief systems accordingly. So I'm being shown that, awareness, I'm being shown that awareness of this week's energy can lead to the dissolution of these restrictive belief systems that are keeping you small. So if I were to connect with the energy, because I said I'm being shown, so I feel it is important that I tell you what I'm being shown. So I see you in the center of these walls. Okay, it's like a fortress around you. And as you breathe deeper, as you acknowledge these wounds, as you let them go, these walls disintegrate from around you. Okay? And you find yourself moving freer, you feel a sense of lightness, a sense of ease, all of which will happen at the end of this week. But of course, the more consciously you work with, the more awareness you work with this energy, the better it is. Okay, so it also feels, or the other message that I'm getting is that you will probably feel less affected by the ups and downs of what life has in store for you, and will feel more determined to stay on the path that is ahead of you. And this is really important because I've just had a look at the energy for August, and we are going to need everything we can on our side. It is not to scare you, but the energy of August is going to test everything that we have learned, especially since February. And therefore, doing this work in this week will really help with navigating or flowing with the energy that is coming up in with more ease. Okay, so that's the energy report. Now let's look specifically at where this is happening for you based on your natal chart. You need to look at your astrological chart or connect with me, and I'll let you know your top 3 signs. I use whole sign houses and Hellenistic astrology for this breakdown. So take what resonates with you. Now, the first sign I would urge you to look at is your rising sign. This is completely about you, your body, mind, and soul. And the question to ask here is, what is going on in my life? The second is your sun sign. This is what impacts your career and themes related to your father and father figures. So definitely look at it this week. The question to ask is, what is influencing my career or significant masculine relationships? The third is your moon sign. This is your emotional space, your feeling of belonging, safety, your mother and maternal figures. The question to ask is, what is influencing my emotions or significant feminine relationships? Now look at all 3 signs to get a complete view of what is happening to you. Or you can just look at your rising sign, which will provide you with the main themes. This week, though, I do urge you to look at your sun sign as well because of the wounding that we spoke about. Okay, so let's look at Aries, rising, sun, or moon. For Aries, the balancing act in your life is between your needs and your outlook on life, balanced with the needs of others that you're closely associated with, concerned about, or in an intimate relationship with. So there's a need to balance this. Your explosion of self-expression will be around your self-worth, your values, and how you feel financially secure. The wounding from a paternal figure that has resulted in disempowering belief systems is related to creativity, play, your talent, and your need for attention. Now, when it comes to Taurus, rising, sun, or moon, the balancing act in your life is between your daily habits and routines and physical health with your call to spirituality, exploring the subconscious, and the need for space. The explosion of self-expression for you, Taurus, will be around your personality, your outlook on life, and your individuality. The wounding from a paternal figure that has resulted in disempowering belief systems is related to your roots, your early life, your parents, especially your mother, and your home. So for Gemini rising sun or moon, the balancing act in your life is between the way you use your networks, the goals you set for yourself, the external perception of your career. And this needs to be balanced with the need to express your creativity and have fun in life. So the explosion of self-expression for you, Gemini, will be around your spirituality, your subconscious patterns, and either the need to withdraw into privacy or the fear of being alone. So the wounding from a paternal figure that has resulted in disempowering belief systems for you, Gemini, is related to your communication style, your learning style, your close living environment, including people who are living with you, possibly siblings as well. Okay, for Cancer rising sun or moon, the balancing act in your life is between your career, your status, as well, and your ambitions, as versus your roots, what you consider home, your parents, and your core identity. The explosion of self-expression for you, Cancer, will be around the way you use your networks, the goals you set for yourself, and the external perception of your career. And the wounding from a paternal figure leading to disempowering belief systems is related to your self-worth, your values, your financial security. For Leo rising, sun or moon, the balancing act in your life is between your philosophies, your desire for higher education, and versus the way you communicate, the way you express yourself, your immediate living environment, perhaps even siblings. The explosion of self-expression for you, Leo, will be around your career, your status, and your ambitions. And the wounding from a paternal figure leading to disempowering belief systems is related to your identity, your needs, and your outlook on life. For Virgo rising sun or moon, the balancing act in your life is between your partnerships and shared resources. This could also include debt. This could also include sex, with the way you earn money and feel valued. The explosion of self-expression for you, Virgo, will be around your philosophies and your desire for higher education or higher learning or just exploring the world. The wounding from a paternal figure leading to disempowering belief systems is related to your spirituality, your subconscious patterns, and either your need to withdraw into privacy or your fear of being alone. For Libra rising sun or moon, the balancing act in your life is between your intimate relationships, negotiations, your concern for others with your own needs, the way you see and define yourself. The explosion of self-expression for you will be around your partnerships, issues around debt, sex, shared resources. The wounding from a paternal figure leading to disempowering belief systems is related to the way you see your networks, the goals you set for yourself, and the external perception of your career. Scorpio rising sun or moon, the balancing act in your life is between your daily work routines, habits, and your body with your subconscious thought patterns, your sleep routines, either your need for isolation or your fear of being alone. So you need to balance these two aspects of your life. The explosion of self-expression for you will be around your intimate relationships, negotiations, and concern for others, and the wounding from a paternal figure leading to disempowering belief systems for you, Scorpio, is related to your career, status, and ambitions. For Sagittarius rising sun or moon, the balancing act in your life is between your need for fun, romance, creativity, children, and play, with the way your work is seen in the world, your networks, and your social groups. The explosion of self-expression for you, Sagittarius, will be around your working environment, your daily habits, routines, and physical health. The wounding from a paternal figure leading to disempowering belief systems is related to your philosophies, ethics, your need for higher learning and education. For Capricorn rising sun and moon, the balancing act in your life is between your concept of family, roots, important women in your life, with your career, ambitions, and status. The explosion of self-expression for you, Capricorn, will be around fun, romance, creativity, children, and play. The wounding from a paternal figure leading to disempowering belief systems is related to your partnerships, issues around debt, sex, and shared resources. For Aquarius rising sun and moon, the balancing act in your life is between your communication, thought processes, and connections with sibling, And you need to balance this with the need to develop your own philosophy, learn, explore the world. The explosion of self expression for you, Aquarius, will be around roots, your early life, parents, especially your mother and home. The wounding from a paternal figure leading to disempowering belief systems is related to your intimate relationships, negotiations, and concern for others. For Pisces, rising sun and moon, the balancing act in your life is between your finances and the way you value yourself, with to be balanced with your partnerships, shared resources, and debt. The explosion of self-expression for you, Pisces, will be around the way you communicate and express yourself and your immediate living environment, also your siblings. The wounding from a paternal figure leading to disempowering belief systems is related to your work environment, your daily habits, your routines, and your physical health. So we are at the end of the zodiac. But in summary, this week calls for action in creating more balance in your life. This action involves an authentic and vulnerable expression of what is happening within you in the themes for your specific sign. This authenticity will be aided by this revelation of the wounding that a father figure was involved in, and it will also lead to healing of that wound and the ability for you to uncover your gifts. Now, all of this is part of the journey of setting up trust-based leadership and feeling confident by the end of September that you can say and do the right things at the right time with the right people. That journey started with embodying the energy of acceptance. It moved on to being more resilient. It led to the energy of initiative, where you know, that spark came in, where you sort of cut the umbilical cord. This spark brought about a clarity in your purpose, and it is now about taking the action, even if it is explosive, but that propels you forward in the direction of your dreams. Do subscribe to this channel for regular updates. I drop a new episode every Friday for the week, and once a month there's a bonus episode for the whole month. I would love to hear from you. The next part of this report is about my process, so if you would like to hear it, but if you've heard it in previous videos, then this is just a repetition. So prior to being able to receive the downloads, my guides expect me to study the astrological and human design transits that are impacting the period of time the report is meant for. I usually study it for the whole month and then week on week. I call it the soap opera of the stars because when I started looking at the information and hearing the stories, it really feels like the planets and luminaries have their own little dramas with their plots and subplots. And we here on Earth are impacted because, all this energy in the universe, this force in the universe impacts us. So we need to work with that energy to ensure we are able to navigate life in the best manner possible. So to me, these are our warning signals, or the lighthouse that helps us navigate safely to the shore we want to be on, which is hopefully freedom and liberation. So to know more about what I do, you can find me on Instagram as @Pallavi108, which is PALLAVI 108. I'm also on LinkedIn as Pallavi Nath. I have a Spotify channel. It's the same content, but in podcast form. And it's called the Soap Opera of the Stars. I have a Medium publication, so same content, but in written format. It's also called the Soap Opera of the Stars. You can also stay updated on all the new episodes by following my WhatsApp channel. This is also called the Soap Opera of the Stars. I'm also planning to start posting on X and Twitter, X and Threads. So if that's something you're interested in, then watch this space for more. So just to let you know what I do, as an intuitive coach, I work with clients one-to-one to reset their energetic blueprints for maximum impact. So what this means is it could be an energetic reset to their timelines that includes events right from conception to now. It could be energy from past lifetimes. It could be also ancestral lineages. Now, why it is important to do this is because there are lots of these hidden little things, just like I see this fractured solar plexus that is hidden in our energy that we're not aware of, that we're not conscious of. But as an energy coach, as an intuitive coach, I can see it in the system and I can work with the client to help release it, because after all, aren't we all looking for relief and ease? I certainly am. This can happen for a client for themselves, an individual reset. It can happen for a relationship they're in, so that's a relationship reset. It can happen for the business they're running, and it can also happen in the space that they live or work in. So anywhere that you feel you need a little bit of an energy shift, like a facial for the energy, a deep tissue massage, connect with me. So apart from this, if you want non-face interaction, then I offer intuitive energy blueprint reports. These cover various aspects of your lived experience. They can be generated for you, they can be generated for loved ones. They're similar to the soap opera of the stars, but this is your natal chart. This is your human design setup. So it's very individual and unique to you. The report that I'm currently working on providing is one around purpose. I will provide reports on love and finance and career and so on and so forth. Right now I'm focusing on the first level, which is why are you here? Who are you on this planet? What is your quest? How does that combine to form your purpose? How do you then understand how this purpose and this current lifetime fits in with past and future lifetimes, and what are the important years so far in your life, what do you learn from them, what do you heal in them, and then what are the important markers over the next 10 years that you could prepare for and therefore navigate your life from that perspective. So this is something that I provide. You can check my link www.bit.ly/PN _reports. And I'm going to put that in the link in the description below. Another service that I provide is answers channeled from the guides. Now you can send this question to me on a form, and within 24 hours I will respond to you with a voice note. So these are specific to a situation, a decision, or a person where they need extra guidance, they need an input, they want to make a decision, or they just need to release anxiety. And this is important for them. So thank you for spending this time with me and my guides, and see you soon. Next Friday, next episode.